want to tell you that if you read the book of Proverbs, and particularly chapter 6 and chapter 7, gives you a standard of morality. First thing is, that you take Proverbs chapter 6, verse 25, and it says, do not lust after her beauty in your heart, nor let her adore you with her eyelids. That the lustful desire of the heart begins with the progression of folly, and the connection between desire and act is not as starkly put as in Matthew 5:28, when Yeshua, when he gave his Sermon on the Mount, he was quoting from the Ten Commandments. And he quoted where they said, it was said of old that you shall not commit adultery. But Yeshua wanted to take it further, the Ten Commandments a little further, and to show really what it's really trying to say. Let's take it like one person said, the law says you should not commit adultery, but grace says that to lust after a woman in your own heart is to commit lust after a woman is to commit adultery with her in your own heart. So you really just what you might be looking at somebody down the street and might be just walking away, but you already made some trouble for yourself. And the Lord tells you not to deceive yourself. Another thing is what in the following verse warns about consorting with prostitutes. That it's self-destructive and adultery is worse. Paul says, Solomon says, for by means of a harlot, a man is reduced to a crust of bread, and adulterers will prey upon his precious life. A person is really looking for trouble. The Bible says that a harlot calls a harlot a deep pit or a deep ditch, which, a pit is a place where somebody would trap an animal. And that you become trapped. You think that you let that woman that you see in the car deceive you by her enticement. But you know what? You're falling down. You're falling down. You watch it. Why do you want to get caught up in this sin? Go, further, in chapter 7:21, he says, with her enticing speech, she caused him to yield with flattering lips. She seduced him. Immediately went after her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or a fool to the correction of the stocks till an arrow struck his liver. And so he's talking about, a vital organ that can be really dangerous. It's as dangerous to run after the harlot as is to get an arrow in your liver. It says, as a bird hastens to the snare, he did not know it cost his life. Wake up out there. Don't think that you can deceive yourself. The Bible says that God is not mocked, that whatever man sows, that he shall also reap. You cannot laugh at God and get away with it. America, you want to redefine morality today. You wanted to change the definition of marriage, turning it almost into a legal date. Now you want it's men marrying men and women marrying women, and we as believers are being forced to accept it. And I say we should all stand up like that woman in Kentucky and say no. We cannot change things from what God says it's made to be, what God has made them to be. We have to follow His path. The wise men of Israel did not cease warning against the harlot seductress. The corruption of character involved in debauchery was considered nearly fatal. As I said here, the image of the deep pit was that for trapping wild animals. Now, do you want to be like the wild animal? No, I don't think so.